What do you see as the biggest challenge in helping women and children heal from trauma and abuse within a church community?
Church hates us. Religion hates us. Tradition hates women. Unfortunately, women will hate ourselves. Have you noticed that if you have a male boss, you might not have a problem. But the moment you have a female boss, you start dealing with each other. What about the shoes, the bags, We are just surrounded by a lot of challenges as women. As a matter of fact, this battle started at the garden. When the man was in the garden, the devil did not show up. Because you don't fight what you don't fear. When the man was naming all the animals, chimpanzee, hippopotamus, there was no reaction because really, you don't fight what you don't fear. But when the woman showed up, the devil was afraid. When the woman was apprehended, he was not giving alibi and telling God, why did you give me this husband? He just said, well, it's not the man you gave me, it's the enemy. And God gave a woman a mandate at that junction. Anywhere you see the head of the devil, bruise it. And when a woman bruises the head of something, when the head is gone, there's nothing in the body again. That's why the devil hates us. So I will first of all say my biggest challenge is the devil, basically. Because really, the hand that rules the cradle rules the world. Every man slept in a woman's womb. From the womb to the tomb, a woman is still praying for the children. As a matter of fact, when you die as a woman, your children, your son, your daughter will go to the grave and say, the head of my mother, don't sleep in heaven. So even when we are dead, we are not sleeping. The devil knows that a woman is so powerful. That's why he comes at us to make sure we are molested, we are raped, we are cheated on, we are abandoned, we are rejected. Some are raped, molested, and they are dumped. That's just number one hindrance that I know is the devil. Number two, tradition. You see, in a system where we have men, you find women being subjugated to the background, relegated to nothing. They're just pushed aside. Oh, she's a woman, whatever. Some people are not even smart. They were saying, Jesus didn't have women as disciples. You don't understand. Most people that made the ministry of Jesus powerful were women. Mary Magdalene, Mary the mother of Jesus, Mary the wife of Chusa. Many of them stood with Jesus. One woman said to her husband, sweetheart, don't touch that man. He's a good man. He has no sin. The man had to go and wash his hand. A woman is always behind the scene, shaking the scene. She doesn't have to be seen. So tradition also deals with us. Culture, that is, you know what it means. You see a man going somewhere with a wife. The wife, she will be pregnant, hold two babies, still carry load on her leg, and the man will just hold one miserable stick and is going everywhere with his friends. Religion, tradition. Religion really messed us up. You see some places, they have a place where women sit, they have a place where men sit. And the question is, God is gender blind. In the image of God, he created them, both male and female. There's no difference between a man and a woman. God created them in God's image, male and a female. There's no difference. But because of culture and tradition and everything, it makes a woman to feel you are just a non-entity, you are meant for the kitchen, you are just meant to rear children and start bearing children and just be there. You don't have a purpose, you don't have a mandate. Now let's come back to the issue of trauma. One woman was apprehended and she was stoned almost to death. Thank God she ran to the rock, which is Jesus. It is two people that commit adultery. So where is the man? And we were told that she was caught in the very act. That's scary. When women go through stuff, they make them to feel it's their fault. It's their decision. It's a big challenge. And that is what I've been saying since the inception of this podcast. I said every woman, no matter what happened to you, it is not your fault. It's the fault of the rapist. And she didn't dress well. And she seduced me. I heard somebody saying in the studio, a man just gave his life to Christ and the woman just showed up with her maybe boobs or whatever. And the question is, close your eyes, remove your eyes. Job said, I made a covenant with my eyes that I will not behold a maid. It's your eyes. Jesus even said, if you look at a woman to lust after her, you have already committed adultery. So it's not even the problem of it's not the problem of the woman, it's the problem of the man, or the man that cannot remove his eyes from whatever he sees. And the foundation is addiction. Now, I said it before, coming out from the church, giving your life to Christ, is your spirit that is born again. That thing that is making you to lust and keep having erection because you saw a lady that is half naked is a problem in your brain. You have to deal with addiction. Addiction is a way you medicate a pain that is inflicted in your soul. So for you to heal from your addiction, please don't say it's the woman's fault. She's the one seducing me. You don't have to be seduced if you don't have a problem with seduction. If you are not addicted to sex or addicted to whatever you're addicted to medicate your pain. Now, for the children, it's so painful that when we are dealing with trauma, molestation, assault, where two elephants fight is the grass that suffers. Some grass don't suffer, some grass died, depending on the length of the fight in the family. So when there's a problem in the home, it hits the woman, hits her children. I've told women, if you are going through storms, your husband committed adultery, your husband did that, your husband messes up things, made strong financial decision, had to go into polygamy, whatever it is, listen to me and listen to me clearly. Please help your children to heal. I have a case of a woman. Her son got depressed. He was losing it. And the auntie said, let's get this boy into therapy. And the mother said, I'm not going with him. He's too emotional. He's not serious. I said, you want to lose a child to mental illness because you are trying to do what? It's because you don't understand. When there's a problem in a home, the children feels it. Hear me. The moment a man commits adultery, the next question in the heart of every child in that family, if I'm a good child, my daddy will not leave. If I'm a good child, my daddy will not leave my mom, will not be beating my mom. It's my fault that daddy is beating my mom. That's the way children are wired. And children are naturally selfish. They just believe whatever has happened to you is their fault. And it is not their fault. So my challenge is, women, whatever it is that you are going through, make sure you protect the soul of your children. Protect them. I turned 40 some years back. And a question was asked my children. And they said, my dad's mom and my mom's mom, we live in our room is close to each other. And we don't hear them fight. Did I marry an angel? No. But the point is that I was intentional in protecting the souls of my children for them not to know that there is a problem, if there is a problem. And that is how to live as a woman. You cannot afford to make your children dump everything on their head. And you know your daddy has done this, your daddy has done this. You are killing those children emotionally. You are painting a picture of not having a home to them. And you don't know. You feel good when you are venting with your children. You are preying on their emotions. You are messing up their mind. You are destroying their psychic. They did not send you to marry that man. Leave them out of the picture. Go to therapy. Heal. Get a professional. Get someone that will help you to heal. Get into therapy. Therapy is life. Therapy is key. Therapy is the solution to every form of trauma, addiction, molestation, abuse, whatever it is that wounds your soul. Just get yourself into the hospital of a soul doctor. Hear me. X-ray does not see emotional wounds. The only thing that happens is you start seeing the reaction. The person can shut down. The person can just be extremely weird. I've seen ladies, when they are raped, they become a public dog. They sleep with anything. Remember the story of a lady that said she had to look for dogs to be sleeping with her because she was molested growing up. She had issues with somebody who raped her, or they shut down completely. No emotions, no feeling, no sex. They are just numb. It will act to pain differently. That's why I insist that people should seek professional intervention. And let me be honest with you, it's not everybody that can handle this case. It's a special case dealing with trauma, dealing with addiction, dealing with somebody that has been sexually assaulted before. It is a professional job, and somebody that will handle that person must be able to be empathetic with that person, wear the person's shoes. And hear me, in this profession, we don't judge people. You can be healed, please heal. If you are not healed, you will pass the baton to your generation and the next generation. And that's why people just go and pray and say, this is a generational altar, this is a generational curse. It's a baton that is being passed, the baton of pain, the baton of addiction, the baton of oppression is passed down. When you are a mother that your husband beats you, you have a lot of scars on your faces. Definitely when you talk to your child, you transfer the aggression. When your child marries, it transfers the aggression. When your child gets married to another, because it continues. The struggle continues. Until somebody said like Joseph, I'm cutting this flow. I can't continue to perpetuate this nonsense. Don't cross your hand. Do you know that unconsciously the father of Joseph wanted to continue to perpetuate the generational pattern of losing firstborn sons, but he stood his ground as an authority over that child. Hear me and hear me good. If you are hearing the sound of my voice, you must get to a place in your life, whether you're on the pew or on the pulpit, or you're a person that really values family life. Tell yourself, enough. At my end, it will stop. I'm stopping this madness. Not on my watch anymore. And you find yourself becoming a wounded healer, and you stop the flow, and your children will pass the better baton to their children will pass the better baton to their children, on and on and on like that. Before you know it, you are good to go. Thank you so much for allowing me to speak.